What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Sports to the Wire. For those of you who are new to the channel, I am your host, as always, Rasheed White. All right, so Dreams Pro actually comes back at me. He claps back. Now, for those of you who are actually new, I made about 3 or 4 videos clowning Dreamers Pro, Carlton from Charleston. He looks like Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But yeah, Charleston. I mean, I'm getting like early dementia or something like that, man. So I made 3 or 4 videos clowning him, basically saying he doesn't actually know basketball. So he actually comes back at me, but he doesn't want to mention my channel by name, which is okay because he thinks, oh, I gotta be the top-notch guy, and this is basically like crabs in a barrel mentality. And we were talking about, well, I was talking about Ben Simmons, how Charleston was actually clowning him and saying he's not a good player. I mean, he also actually said, oh, Ben Simmons' lack of scoring will actually cause the Brooklyn Nets championships. When I showed highlights and stats of him actually scoring 20-something points a game, 34 back-to-back 34-point games. He had a 42-point game against Utah. So he's right. He's right. What I'm actually saying is that he doesn't know basketball. But let's listen into what he actually has to say against me here.
Very simple. Number one, Ben Simmons is not a guy that's really looking to improve his basketball game. There, for instance.
All right. So in the B-roll footage, I actually used for every Nets video I actually do. It's actually Ben Simmons actually working on his 3-point shot. If you just care to actually look, man.
There's a channel out there. They sit up here telling me, oh, I don't know basketball. This guy doesn't know basketball. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a Ben Simmons hater. And this guy will pull up a game where Ben Simmons scored 20 points. And then tell you, that's why I don't know basketball. He'll be pulling up highlights of Ben Simmons scoring buckets, and he's going to tell you, oh, yeah, you see? I thought you said you can't score. Forgetting.
All right, so he actually has the attention span of a goldfish, basically, and goldfish memory. I pulled up highlights of 2 games, back-to-back games of Ben Simmons actually scoring 34 points back-to-back, not 20 points.
That all of us can just go look at his averages and see what he's looking at. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Ben Simmons this season is averaging 8.6 points per game. He's shooting 50% from the field. Some people are like, man, that's incredible. 60%, 61% from the field. The problem is he's only attempting 6 shots a game. That's about 2 shots.
All right, so he's actually taking more shots. He has to integrate himself with, I don't want to be redundant here. I'm going to say this slowly for Mr. Charleston. He has to integrate himself with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. He's a point guard. He actually has to figure out how to get the other guys going. He also is coming from a back injury, back surgery. And he was also not playing for a year and a half. He also was actually dealing with a swollen knee. It's going to take him some time to actually get his rhythm back. And I predicted it with accuracy that in the 12 to 15 game mark, you'll start seeing him actually attempt more shots. I'll link the video down in the description.
Less than 2 shots a quarter, right? And he's making 3.8. He's shooting 0% from the 3-point line. And Ben Simmons, since he's been in the NBA, has made 5 3-pointers. 5.
He does not need to shoot threes. He's damn near 7 feet tall and can overpower 95% of the NBA players. He does not need to shoot threes. It's the same thing with Giannis. It's the same thing with Joel Embiid. It's the same thing with Zion Williamson. All right, so for my non-basketball friend over here, Charleston, I'm going to explain this to you. The idea of playing basketball is to put as much pressure on the defense as possible. Him shooting threes is bailing the defense out. Now, for the The people that actually does play basketball, like myself, and let's say if you're guarding Giannis, if you're guarding Shaquille O'Neal, you're playing like a little pickup game. Do you want him going to the basket, or do you want Shaquille O'Neal shooting 18-foot jump shots or fadeaway shots on you? Man, that'll be a total relief for you right there. But if he starts taking you to the hole and dunking it on you, man, you're going to be in for a night as a defender. He does not need to shoot threes, especially when you have a plethora of shooters around him. Now, if the team around him was shooting 27 to 29 to 30 something percent from three, then yes, he does need to actually start shooting some 3-pointers or some jump shots to start opening things up for him so it'll be easier to navigate passing. I just don't understand why he can't compute. There's something wrong with this dude. He does not know the game. He doesn't study. He I guess he likes basketball and he says, "Oh, let me do a show of basketball." Man, dude, I study this stuff, man. I play the game. I played over 17,000 games. You run track and field, bro.
He's shooting 50% from the free throw line. He's making 1 of 2. Now, he's getting you 6.5 rebounds and 6.1 assists. His turnovers are very low at 2.3, which is an improvement, and he's getting you 1.3 steals a game. But for you to sit up here and act like as if, you know, you're having some type of eureka moment, some enlightening about how Ben Simmons at this point should have developed the same way his contemporaries have developed. And for the people that are trying to make excuses for him about why he hasn't developed, my question is, then why do we have so many other players that are getting better and he's not? Why is it different for him?
All right, myself as a basketball player can actually shoot. I'm a really good jump shooter. I just don't shoot. I just don't shoot because most of the guys that's guarding me, I can just overpower them. When I do start playing for real, my weight is going to be about 6 foot, 215, 220 something pounds. I can just overpower most people. And for the ones that I really can't, then I'll start shooting. Joe Harris, Seth Curry, Pat Connaughton, those guys, because they're not above the rim players, needs to shoot. Chris Paul needs to actually shoot. Because again, they're just not above the rim players. Guys that are above the rim players don't really need to shoot too much.
We have to look at his situation differently. Why? You said, well, he's been injured, but other players have been injured too. So why is his case unique? You look at a player. Let me give you guys a player that I think we don't talk about enough.
This dude is so stupid.
In terms of players that are actually serious. Let's look at Paul George. Okay, I want to quickly look at Paul George for a second. Paul George, I believe, let me just pull up his stats here. I believe the year was 2013. Paul George won the most improved player of the year. Now, let me just give you guys some more information. Paul George breaking his leg. Paul George broke his leg back in 2013. I want you guys to listen to me. I think it was in an Team USA exhibition game or something like that. Paul George suffered a gruesome, listen to what I just said, a gruesome leg injury.
Yo, oh my gosh. I can't believe he's going there.
What did Paul George do after that? That year, he averaged 21 points. The very next season, Paul George only played 6 games. He missed the entire year. He averaged 8 points per game, less than a steal, less than a block, barely got you any assists that year. He didn't really play, only played 6 games. Year after that, he was a 23. Year after that, he was a 22. The following year, Paul George finished, I believe, top 3 in MVP voting and Defensive Player of the Year and played 77 games when he was with the Oklahoma City Thunder. So if a player like Paul George can come back and really improve, what's Ben Simmons' excuse? And this is my biggest issue with these people.
All right. Oh my gosh, man. This dude is really stupid, man. Paul George's injury, his gruesome ankle injury, his leg injury, was not a result It was just a freak accident. So what happened, I believe he went up for a dunk. The international courts, like the court itself, the backboard, it's closer to the actual out of bounds line. You know, in a sense. So Paul George is 6'8" and he has long legs. Where in the United States, the court is actually further back. So it's not like he just came on somebody's ankle or anything like that, like Yusuf Nurkic or like Gordon Hayward, where it could have like a psychological impact on him. That was a freak accident. If he was playing in the United States, that would have never happened. So there was this. All right, let's just go on, man.
They are full of excuses. They'll tell you why a person needs to remain bad instead of telling us why he needs to improve. And that's my issue with it. So to me, I can totally understand. You're not going to convince me. You're not going to tell me you know basketball and talk about, oh, I know basketball. You know, I was coaching at the Rucker, like I know basketball. And then try to make an argument.
All right, nobody says I'm coaching at the Rucker. I said I played a lot of basketball games. I studied the game extensively. That's how I know so much about the game. I looked at the other players like Kobe and emulated their moves. I would go out there. I would practice for an hour and a half a day, working on my footwork, working on my jump shots, listening to guys like Hubie Brown, other good coaches, and just really kind of study the game. And actually, I am going to coach. I didn't even bring this up on the channel. But I am coaching some kids next month in a tournament, though. But I never said anything about coaching. I said I played, and you don't play the game, so you don't understand that if Ben Simmons has an L4 back injury, you're not playing. Your body's just not going to allow you to play. I had a back injury, 2 of them, as a matter of fact. You're just not going to be able to play. You're not going to be able to do anything, really. That's what I'm saying. You don't know basketball because you do not play. I heard you on a video say your passion was track and field, not hoops.
That a point guard or a point forward, a person that handles the ball, a person that plays on the perimeter in a basketball game, you're going to make an argument and tell me that he doesn't need to shoot. Are you on 1 or 2? How many? Is it 1 or 2 that you're on, bro? Is it one?
Stick around, audience. I'm going to show you some clips from the Indiana game. If you didn't watch the Nets versus Indiana, and I'm going to show you why Ben Simmons does not really need to shoot.
Or 2. We're acting like as if we don't understand what basketball is. When we get to the playoffs, what's going to happen? Okay, if you're going to have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving on the court, and you're going to be defending these guys, what do you want to do? You have to take away somebody. Right? You got to take away somebody, and usually to win a series, unless you have Michael Jordan or one of these type of players, you're going to need 2 players to be able to provide you scoring consistently. In the case of the Brooklyn Nets, theoretically, they have 3 All-Stars. Now, what's the defense going to do? They're either going to take away KD or they're going to take away Kyrie.
Did he just say you're going to take away Kyrie? Do you understand that Kyrie is one of the most prolific offensive players this league has ever seen, that basketball has ever seen? Do you understand that? You're not going to take away Kyrie unless he beats himself like he did in the playoffs last year. If you try to crowd Kyrie, you say, well, I'm going to push him off the three-point line. He can blow by you and actually finish. If you sag back off him, if you drop on him, he can shoot the 3. He can break you down off the dribble. He's an excellent passer. He knows when to actually release the basketball. Man, I should have had the clips pulled up when Kevin Durant was actually playing the Knicks, where when he's engaged, he had 2-3 guys draped all over him, and he still had to pull up 17 or 20-foot jump shot right in all 3 Knicks players' faces. And he does this a lot. What are you talking about, man? And I'm going to show you what happens with Ben Simmons over here, why you can't really stop him in a sense, though. And just let's finish up.
And they're going to make other players beat them. And who's going to be one of the open?
Oh my God, this dude is stupid.
You're going to have, what is it? Oh my God.
Royce O'Neal can hit threes. Why would you leave him open? That's the whole point with the Nets. They have 3-point shooters. They have Steph Curry, Joe Harris when he gets his confidence together. I don't know what's going on with him. Royce O'Neal can hit threes. Watanabe can hit threes. Kevin Durant can hit threes. Kyrie can hit threes.
Stephen Curry's brother, I forgot his name. Seth Curry. Or you're gonna have who else? Claxton. Who you think? You think those guys are gonna be able to carry the load? No. And you got Ben Simmons. And some people are telling me that when you're playing a basketball game, you're telling me in this particular NBA that spacing doesn't matter. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? I'm the first one that says, I've been multiple videos saying how spacing is actually critical. What the hell are you talking about? Now you're just making things up now, man. You are really seriously making things up. What are you on, bro? I swear, there's something wrong with you, man.
If you have a point forward bringing up the ball, he's going to set. He'll set a screen. You'll roll. He'll roll out to the 3-point. No, he's going to run to the dunker spot. What?
All right. I'm sorry you guys had to hear that, man. All right, so whatever he said in the last 2 minutes of that, saying how you're going to crowd Ben Simmons, let's check out some highlights. This is from the previous game. He played the actual Indiana Pacers, and they couldn't do nothing with this man. The referees had to actually come in and take away Ben Simmons with some bullshit fouls. All right, see how there's 3 Pacers around him. 3 guys around him. And you really can't hard commit to him because he's such a prolific passer. All right, see now that little pull-up shot right there, that freezes Miles Turner. That little 12-foot pull-up floater freeze. He's expecting Ben Simmons to actually go to the rim, but this is perfect right here. This is one of the reasons why it's kind of hard to stop players like this with that pull-up jump shot, because you're trying to anticipate that he's going to go to the rim. And Ben Simmons can hit that with regularity. Good defense, man. Verticality. All right, see, this is the reason why you can't crowd Ben Simmons in the paint, because he's going to find open and I forgot to mention Patty Mills too, in terms of three-point shooting. He'll actually make high percentage passes. All right, now, do you understand why he doesn't need to shoot threes? Because of this right here. Because how he just punked this dude right here, man. Look at that. Look at that. Why do you want him shooting threes when he can actually just do that? Or 95% of the players in the NBA. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I love his game. I really do love his game. In and out crossover. Look at that footwork. And again, this is how many defenders they can't stop him, man. They can't guard him. Even when you have, this is exactly why he doesn't need to shoot threes. All right, see how the big over here, they can't move their feet to actually stay with him. He's just really lightning fast. And again, you had 3 guys surrounding him right here. Look at that first step. Ooh, with the left. All right, so listen, again, stop listening to Charleston here. He doesn't know what he's actually talking about. This is like the 5th or 6th time I actually had to really kind of really destroy this dude over here, man, because he doesn't really know what he's talking about. Now, what he was saying in the last couple of minutes, if that was Nick Claxton they were crowding, yeah, because he's not really great at passing out of the double teams. It's like Brook Lopez is why they actually turned him into a spot-up shooter, because if you try to run the offense through him, he's just not a great passer out of the double teams. He just turns the ball over a lot. You know, most guys, well, let me say most, but good 80% of the guys aren't really great passers, man. You know, they're just not really, really great passers. But Ben Simmons is, so you really, really can't crowd him too much. If you try to blitz him, he just passes the ball. He rather passes than shoot. That makes him much more dangerous. So now you got to drop back on the passes, which gives him perfect situations for him to actually go ahead and score. So he doesn't really need to shoot threes because of he's just, you know, just powerfully built. He's an above the rim player. He's a matchup nightmare for most opposing defenses out there. Most of the guys he's going against is 6'3", 6'4". Again, in that game, the Pacers couldn't do anything with him until the referees had to come in and actually sabotage the game somewhat. All right, this is 22 minutes, man. Woo! All right, so if you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe. Certainly share this video. When you share, the universe certainly shares back with you. Peace.